Okay, so here we are. We're assuming regular shading here. What does that mean? It means that the shaded region is the true region. So the true region in this case is below the line. And it's dashed, bless you. And it's dashed. So we know that we're going to have to go y is less than for sure. Then you get your slope, right? I gave you that one already. Actually, you want your slope and your intercept. So you try to find another point. That seems to be it. That seems to be it. So it's 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. Okay? So my slope is positive 3 over 1, and my intercept is negative 2. So this would be 3x minus 2. You got your equation there. Next, this one. Read carefully. It says reverse shading. What does that mean? That the true region is the one that is not shaded. That's what that means. So we know that the true region is above the line, and this is solid. So I know that my line is going to start like this, my inequality. And then you look at your intercept, right? Your slope and your intercept. Your intercept is 5. Your slope is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 4, 3, but it's negative because you're dropping. So it'd be negative 4 over 3. So negative 4 over 3x plus 5 is your inequality in that case. Okay, so just read carefully. I may label solution for you so you don't have to guess where the true region is. But that is how you do it. Next. So I'm going to go a little faster here, right? If you want to graph a system without a word problem, guys, it's all 4 quadrants, okay? So let's rewrite this real quick. I'm just going to give you the intercepts. The intercepts, where's my key? You get 4.5, 0, and 0, negative 3 for this. Rewriting, it's 3y is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 9. You divide both sides by negative 3. What happens when you divide by a negative? You flip. Yeah. So negative and negative is positive. Minus 3. This tells me that this is a solid line because it's the equal there. The true region is above. I will shade below. You can't take too long with these ones. You're going to run out of time, right? Reminder, listen to this part. If you feel like you're going to need more time, I would say, especially out of all units, this one is it. Don't be late, right? For sure, and then come in earlier if you want more time. So this is what I need to do to graph that one. This one here, the intercept is negative 2, 0. And 0, negative 2, sorry, 0, negative 2. Rewriting, right, the x comes over, and you have that. Solid, true region is below, we shade above. You got that taken care of? Next one, x is greater than negative 2. No need to rewrite, no need to clean up. But this is a vertical line. I hope you understand that. So this would be dashed. The true region, when it's a vertical line, if it's greater than, it is to the right, we're going to shade to the left. Vertical line. Vertical at negative 9, 0. Okay? It's going to go through there. And now we can graph. I will most likely give you a grid for these ones. For word problems, you have to be ready to make your own. Okay, so we've got 4.50 is right there, 0, negative 3, and that's a solid line. I saw some of your shading was off, so you got to make sure you do this correctly, right? Especially the shading part. So this 2x minus 3y less than or equal to 9. Then we've got this one. You're at negative 2, 0, 0, negative 2. It's also a solid line. So we graph that. X plus y is less than or equal to negative 2. Make sure you make corrections. And the next one is negative 9, 0. So that gets you through here, and it's a dashed line. Okay. X is greater than negative 9. And now it's shading time. Okay. The first line, this one here, I shade below. So I grab my ruler. This one shade above. And the other one shade to the left. So your solution region is in here. That's what your graph should look like. Then you find the corner points. You need to type all of these into your calculator. Do you remember how to do a vertical? It's 999, right? This is the vertical hotline instead of pizza hotline, right? 999. You graph it, you got to go plus 9. So this is where you got to ask yourself, do I want to lose 2 marks, or do I want to really know how to do this? Okay? So I'm going to invite you to type all of these in and make sure you find those corner points. You only do this with vertical lines, so please don't do the 999 when it's a horizontal to begin with, right? This is just so we can have our verticals. I'm going to hit graph. Not a nice graph. I'm going to go zoom 6. And it resembles, guys, if your window parameters are different, it may look like you graphed it wrong, but think again. Make sure you change your X-min, X-max, Y-min, Y-max so that then it will look very similar to what you have. Okay. I'm going to give you some help here. If you have a hard time finding the intersections and you want to find the blue and the red, then maybe go turn off the black one for a little while. You go to the equal sign, deselect it, hit enter, and then hit graph again, and then only the 2 that you're interested in will appear. So you just go second trace intersect and press enter 3 times without even thinking, right? Like it's just that. So it's 0.6, negative 2.6. That is right here, the corner points that I'm finding. I'm going to write them down here. 0.6, negative 2.6. Now, I do want the black line back. So now I want to find between the black and the blue. So I go and turn off the red. Hit graph. And now you're just left with those. Second trace 5. Just hit enter without even thinking. Enter 3 times. That's negative 9, negative 9. And last but not least, turn on the red one, turn off the blue, hit graph, and you're left with that. Second trace 5, enter, enter, enter. Negative 9, 7. We're not surprised that it's negative 9 for our x. Okay, because it is along that vertical -9 line. Okay? So there you have your corner points, the points of intersection. That's it. Like there's no further action needs to be taken there because it's not a word problem. What if I asked you if -5, 1 is a solution? I need you to show work. -5, 1 is right there. We know it is in a solution region. But if I ask you to do this, I want you to show the work, right? So you plug -5, 1 into every single inequality. So it's 2 times -5 minus 3 times 1. Okay? It's supposed to be less than or equal to 9. This ends up being -13 is less than or equal to 9. That is true. Keep going. You plug it into the x plus y, so it's -5 plus 1 is supposed to be less than or equal to -2. This is -4. Is this statement true? -2 is less than or equal to negative? Yes. Right? This is smaller than that one. And the last one is x is greater than -9. So -5 is greater than -9. That is true. Therefore, is a solution. If you do this, as soon as you find a false statement, you may stop and just say it's not a solution. You don't have to do all of the checks. As soon as you find a false one, the first one had been false, you're done, okay? Keep going. Word problem. This is like 70 to 80% of the test will be focused on word problems more so than the non-word problem questions, okay? A farmer is raising dairy cows and egg-laying chickens. He would know the possible combination to raise cattle and chickens to raise based on various restrictions presented. Space needed in the barn is cattle needs 40 square feet, chicken 5. You need $1,000 to raise a cow, right, and $50 for a chicken. Okay, the farmer has 1,200 square feet of space, $20,000 of money, and would like to raise at least 5 cows. This is specifically to cows, right? Define your variables. So I'm going to go with the order that I'm presented it. This is the number of cows. Y is the number of chickens. X and Y is greater than or equal to 0. I can't have negative cows or chickens. That would be a problem, right? So write the inequality. I will try on the test to actually write the restrictions like this, which kind of gives it away that you have 3 inequalities that you need to write. Because each inequality restricts the solution region further, okay? 1,200 square feet of space, so I'm going to go 40 square feet for a cow and 5 for a chicken. That has to be less than or equal to 1,200 square feet. The other one is you only have $20,000 of money, so it's 1,000x plus 50y. That has to be less than or equal to 20,000 because you only have up to $20,000 of money. And you would like to raise at least 5 cows. My cows are represented by x. That has to be greater than or equal to 5 if it says at least. I did give you the keywords. Make sure you have them. There you have it. If it said you want to raise at least 5 cows and chickens combined, then it would be x plus y is greater than or equal to 5. 1 mark for each, okay? And it's all or nothing. So let's say you get it wrong, even the symbol pointing the wrong way, I take off a full mark, but then I honor everything that comes after. So I'm on my computer with a software, and I enter everything you've done, and I check to make sure it matches your inequalities, even though it's wrong, okay? The only exception is if your inequalities result in a lot less work, down the road, then you do lose more marks down the road. Okay, so you got to watch out for that. Determine the intercepts, rewrite, state which region you would shade, all of that stuff. This is getting you ready for the graph. So let's do the first one here. I'm going to call this inequality 1, inequality 2, inequality 3. So you don't have to rewrite the whole thing. For inequality 1, I'm just going to give you the answers there. You have 30, 0, and 0 to 40. And rewriting it would be 5y is less than or equal to negative 40x plus 1200. You divide everything by 5. And so it's negative, that's 8, negative 8x plus 240. Solid, true region is below, we shade above. Okay, tell yourself that. Where are you shading? Next, inequality 2. I'm going to give you the x-intercept is that. The y-intercept is 400. Rewriting it would be 50y is less than or equal to negative 1000x plus 20,000. Divide by 50. And if you get a round number, go ahead and get that round number. That'd be negative 20x plus 400. Solid, true region is below because it's pointing less than, and so we shade above. Last but not least is my vertical line. IQ3 is a vertical. Please don't think they're always going to be vertical. Okay, it's not necessarily true. Another thing, if you flip variables, if you flip them, if you define them differently, you're not going to be wrong. It's just I have to now redo all of it, right? Because if you made X your chickens and Y your cows, your graph is going to be the exact opposite of mine. But that's fine. So don't stress over that. X greater than or equal to 5. It is at 5, 0 that it's going to go through. It's a solid line. True is to the right. You shade to the left. That's what we're interested in. And remember, this is a word problem, so you need to label a lot more. So this would be number of cows. This would be number of chickens. And I look at my x-intercepts. I look at 30, 20, and 5. So if I go up to, if I make everything 10, that will work. And my y's, I go 240, 400. Okay, so I need to go up by hundreds here. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. That's what I'm going to do. And now I have everything I need to label. Okay, so we've got 0 to 40. This would be 250, 20, 40, 60, 80. Yeah, so 240 is actually right there in my scale. And I connect that to 30, 0. Connected, okay? And you get 40x plus 5y is less than or equal to 1200 there. That's the line there. Then it's 20, 0, 0, 400. Connect. And that is 1000x plus 50y is less than or equal to 20,000. And the 5 line, 5 is going to be right there between 0 and 10. There we go. Okay. Now let's shade. I'm going to start with my very first line. It says shade above. Shade above that one. Shade above this one. That gets rid of this sliver here. And it says shade to the left of that one. That's my solution right there. That's graphing the system. Corner points, guys, it's these two x-intercepts, which we already know. So I'm going to state them first. So this would be 5, 0, and this would be 20, 0. So that leaves you with having to find this one and that one. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what they are. 5, 200 is one of them. It's that one right there. And 13, 33, 133, 33. This is a bit of a problem. Can you have decimals in this case? You cannot have decimals because it's chickens and cows, right? So you just round that one to 13, 133. Or you can round up if you want, that's fine. Either one is acceptable. That's it for the quiz.